I'm Kanagaraj, faculty for agriculture. I have been in this field for the last 15 years. I have gone to UPSC interview 5 times, 3 times for IAS and 2 times for Indian Forest Service. For the last 10 years, I have been taking agriculture optional. And this is my 26th batch, right? So every year we conduct 2 batches, one in July, another in December. So for this year, 2026, for 2027 mains, so this is the first batch for this year. Okay, right. So how many of your agri graduates? Okay, almost, right. Your graduation? Botany. Okay, good. BSc Botany. Okay. Any other students from non-agri background? Agri engineering. Okay. Huh? Mechanical engineering. Okay, good. Agri engineering. Okay, good. Okay. Right. Okay. So we'll discuss, okay, that so this optional. Who can choose this optional? We'll discuss, okay, later. So basically, I think you are freshers, right? So you are coming for the civil service preparation. So basically, in our UPSC civil service mains examination, there are 2 types of optional. Humanities subjects and technical are the science-based optionals. Okay. So under the humanities, we have this anthropology, sociology, public administration, political science, geography, right? They come under the humanities area. In the technical and pure science area, botany, zoology, agriculture, forestry, geology, right? So they come under the pure science, physics, chemistry, right? Medical science. Okay. So here in the actually agriculture, forestry, medical science, they are not pure science. So they are applied science. And the botany, physics, chemistry are the pure science. So in the applied science, we apply the concept of the pure science, right? So for example, like in agriculture, we study about the cell biology, genetics area. So they are the part of the pure science, botany area. Then those concepts we apply in agriculture in the plant breeding, right? So why this? Okay, those laws are important. You might have heard about this Mendel's laws of inheritance, right? Mendel's contribution to science, right? Genetics area, and he is the father of genetics. So we study about the Mendel's concepts and how we apply those concepts in agriculture, right? So in the topic plant breeding, so we discuss elaborately in the plant breeding how we develop varieties based on those concepts. Okay, right. So this is the nature of agriculture. So most of the areas in agriculture are actually applied science, right? So here, suppose if you have any confusion regarding choosing this optional, it's basically purely based on your interest and the knowledge regarding the subject, right? So here, mostly for the humanities subjects, the engineering graduates and arts and science group, mostly they choose for they go for the humanities area. And BSc Agri, microbiology, botany, right? So the students, okay, the biology background, bioscience background, they go for the pure science, technical area, okay, right? So here, the advantages are in the humanities area, the advantages are, the questions are mostly general, and there are a lot of overlapping with the GS syllabus. So take the example of sociology. So a lot of overlapping with our GS paper 1 mains, geography also, political science, overlapping with the polity area, right? So huge overlapping in the GS area, and basic understanding or the basic awareness is enough to attend most of the questions. So no need to go in depth, right? Only few areas they have theories, some technical area, but most of the topics are general. Here your answer writing skill is very, very important. Okay, and the evaluation is mostly subjective in nature, right? So if you convince examiner, you can get maximum marks, right? Whereas in the technical or the pure science area, here conceptual understanding and in-depth knowledge of subject is very, very important. If you don't know the answer, you cannot answer. You cannot manage the answer. But whereas in the humanities area, even if you don't know the answer, you can simply, because you might have heard about various what's happening day-to-day affairs, the current affairs. If you follow the current affairs, you know most of the happenings, right? So based on those current affairs knowledge and the awareness, you can able to attempt most of the questions. But here, we have to study properly. We have to approach the syllabus very properly. So for every topic in the syllabus, we must prepare the proper answer. We must have a proper content. So without proper content, we cannot able to answer the question because they are technical, they are pure science, right? But the biggest advantage in the technical pure science area, scoring is very, very high because the questions are technical, right? If you give the correct answer, proper answer, then the evaluation is objective in nature, right? So if you're writing the content for the description of the DNA structure, the examiner, no scope for reducing the marks for that question, right? So if you are giving the correct answer with the proper diagram, then he must give the exact mark. He must give the highest mark for the question, right? So this is the main difference here, right? So in the technical area, pure science area, in-depth knowledge is important, but scoring potential is very high. And moreover, the syllabus is very definite, right? So based on your strength, based on your writing skill, and your, because okay, here we need to memorize a lot of concepts. We need to memorize a lot of scientific names and the areas, okay, the conceptual understanding, right? So based on your strength, you can choose your optional. But okay, we'll see for agri graduates, agriculture is the best optional, okay, right? So why agriculture? In our recently, it's one of the popular optional actually. So earlier, 4 to 5 years back, we can see very less number of candidates are appearing for the mains examination. Hardly 50 or 100 students usually they appear for the mains examination. But in the recent times, there are more than 200, 300 students are appearing for the every year appearing for the mains examination. So out of this, the success rate is very, very high. Nearly more than 10% of, okay, 10 to 15% of success rate. That means for every 100 candidates appearing for the examination, 10 to 50 candidates clear in the final result. So for other popular optionals, the success rate is in the range of 8 to 10%. Okay. So that means more number of candidates are clearing in the final result, right? So here we have to see the relative proportion because many freshers and new students they have this doubt. Why it's very difficult to find often the toppers in the from agri optional in the top 100, right? So students are getting okay in those rank only in those rank also, but recently if you see the top 100 students okay, in the final result, mostly from the popular optionals, from sociology, anthropology, political science, right? So the reason is very simple. The number of candidates appearing for the mains. So if you compare agriculture with the other areas, the number of candidates appearing for those subjects in the mains are very, very high. It's okay, it's more than 3,000, 2,000, 3,000 candidates are appearing for the every year with the sociology, anthropology, or political science. Whereas for agriculture, just 200, 300 students. Because of this, okay, relative, we have to see this relative proportion, right? So out of this, how many candidates are clearing in the final exam? That we have to see. We have to see only the percentage, not the actual number, absolute number. Okay, you don't give the correct picture. In future, once okay, this option is getting popular, when more and more students are appearing for the main examination, we can see the more number of students coming in the top rank. Okay, right. Apart from that, there are other factors also. Optional is one of the, it has huge weightage in the mains. But apart from optional, there are other areas like essay, our performance in the essay, our performance in the interview, and then our performance in the GS papers. They all decide the final ranking. Particularly the essay score and the interview score are very important to get the top rank in our CSE, right? But option score is very important for to secure the at least any one of the service. In the mains examination, there is a huge weightage, 500 marks for the optional in the mains examination, out of 1,070 marks, right? So it has a huge weightage in the mains area. So if you are getting proper score, okay, in the optional subject, if you are getting good score in the optional, then definitely you will get the interview call, right? So interview call and any one of the service. And your final rank, the top rank determined by the other our performance in the other areas, and the essay, particularly essay and interview performance. Okay, right. And then regarding the pure science, the earlier students hesitant to take these kind of optionals, mainly because they are only for optional, okay, only for preparation of the optional, no overlapping with our GS area. But in our modified syllabus, in the GS paper, there are 4 papers in the GS. In a GS paper 3, there are 4 questions from agriculture, 50 marks, right? And those 4 questions are technical. and the 2 questions are technical directly from our agri subject, and the remaining 2 questions are from the agricultural economy area, right? So if we cover agri optional syllabus, then we can able to address those areas. So there are 4 questions from the GS paper 3 area. Apart from that, in a prelims also there are 4 to 5 questions from the agriculture. Okay, right. And then definite syllabus. Actually, this is very, very important when compared to the humanities area, where the scope is very, very high. Even though they have given a syllabus for the geography and sociology or whatever, okay, the political science for those areas, but they ask question from, we don't know, okay, so out of nowhere they ask the question. Because the scope is, okay, the scope of the syllabus is very, very broader, right? So they can ask question from any part, okay, even from the current affairs also for geography. They can link with any other topic. Because geography is actually one of the most complex subject in our UPSC. It's not originally, it's not a subject. Okay, it's a combination of various subjects: biology, biogeography; sociology, social geography; political science, political geography, right? Geology, geomorphology; climatology, geography, right? So it's a combination of various subjects in the geography. So the question will be from anywhere, right? That's a major problem in case of humanities area. But in case of pure science area, technical area, 100% of the questions are from syllabus only. All you have to just you have to follow the syllabus. Okay, you have to take every topic in the syllabus, and you have to prepare a proper notes for every topic in the syllabus. Okay, 100% you can only follow the syllabus, right? So this is another advantage in our technical science, the technical or the pure science area. And then this is what I told you earlier. Evaluation is objective in nature, right? So if you give the correct content, you will get the full marks, right? No, not necessary. Okay, so current affairs has a less relevance in our technical paper. Agriculture is a technical paper, so just we have to follow the syllabus. Okay, because this have okay, for many students they have this doubt. To what extent we can give importance to the current affairs in agriculture optional paper? Current affairs can be there is no direct question in the agri optional paper from the current affairs. Current affairs can be used as only for validation purpose, and only in few topics in agriculture where we need to refer the current affairs, that we will discuss in the class. Okay, during our class discussion also, I will include the current affairs topic, but we can use current affairs only for the validation purpose. No direct question from the current affairs for agri optional paper. Okay, so don't worry too much about the current affairs, and anyhow you have to follow the current affairs for your GS preparation, right? So regarding agriculture, while reading the current affairs, if you come across any information related to agriculture, you can think about where we can add this information in our optional paper. That's enough. No need to specifically refer current affairs for agriculture optional paper, right? Okay. And then another advantage in our agriculture, it's a common subject between Indian Forest Service and CSE. Single optional for both the exams. Okay, this is another major advantage for our agri graduates, agri optional students, because for other students, the engineering graduates, usually they choose any humanities subject in the CSE. Then again, when they appear for the forest service, okay, when they are eligible for the forest service, again here they have to choose 2 more optional, fresh optional. So totally they have to study 3 optionals. Okay, mostly they go for the forest geology combination. That's the best combination. The most popular combination in our forest service, forestry and geology, right? Next best combination, agriculture and botany. Okay, and here between agri and botany, there are a lot of overlapping areas. The entire paper too, many topics are overlapping in the botany and agriculture. In the botany paper too, again we have the syllabus like genetics, cell biology, plant physiology, biotechnology, right? So these are our botany syllabus also. So a single subject for covering both exams, CSE and forest service, right? And another advantage of pure science area, technical paper, chances of repetition of lot of PYQs. So every year, if you go through the last 10 years or 15 years of PYQs, repetition of more number of the same question, okay, same type of question again and again in the exams. But actually recently, on a major change in our agriculture optional paper, not only agri optional paper, in other options also. This is one of the important information for those who are doing self preparation, because I know that many candidates, when they do self preparation, they rely only on the PYQs based on their seniors' advice, right? Earlier the trend was different. We can expect more than 80-90% reflection of the PYQ, but last 4-5 years UPSC has changed the pattern completely. Now the questions are entirely new questions, so we need to approach the syllabus properly, very carefully, right? So depending only on PVQ is not a very good strategy for the optional preparation, right? Because even now they are getting the same advice from their seniors, the college seniors, okay, whatever, right? From some other academy. So PVQ is enough to cover the agri. Okay, that's not true. So previous year questions are only for the reference purpose. We can understand that what type of questions they're asking in the particular syllabus topic. So based on the understanding, we need to cover the syllabus. Okay, so syllabus coverage is very important, right? PVQ can be used as only for the reference purpose, right? So in our class, in our discussion, in the entire our classroom program, we emphasize this point. For every topic, we discuss in the class, and we analyze what are the possible questions in the topic, and you have to study in that way. And you'll get the material also. Okay, regarding the dimension, one more problem in our agri optional paper. Actually, the syllabus is vast, but the syllabus words are given in a very brief manner. So we need to decode the syllabus. So what are the areas we can cover under the particular syllabus topic? This is again main challenge for those who are doing the self preparation. They don't know what to cover in the particular syllabus topic. What are the dimensions for the particular syllabus topic, right? So here in the class, in our classroom program, we will discuss elaborately for this syllabus topic, what are the areas we have to cover? What are the possible questions? So we have to cover in that way. Okay, right. So PVQs are useful, but that's not the only way of preparation. You should not depend only on the PVQ for your preparation, right? Because recently the pattern has changed. Okay, right. So we need to understand, we will discuss later. So what has changed in the recent times, right? So these are the advantages in our agri optional paper. So highly suitable for agri graduates without any second thought. They can choose agri is optional. So this is the best option for them because you have studied in your college days. 4 years ago, studied the agri is optional paper, agriculture subject. So you can easily follow our optional paper, right? So it's the best option for you. Apart from that, for non-agri graduates, students with the science background, botany, zoology, microbiology, biotechnology, right? So students with the science background are at least in their plus one, plus two biomass group. Okay, if you not studied biology in their college, right? So during the plus one, plus two, during the 11th, 12th standard, if they studied biomass group, they can also choose agriculture option. So the interest in the biology and the basic knowledge regarding the bioscience, they are important to follow the. Otherwise, okay, paper one is actually full of general. Okay, it's like a GS only. Only the paper two is a technical. For this, okay, this biological knowledge is important. Bioscience, the background in the bioscience and basic interest in the biology, they are sufficient to understand those concepts. Okay, right. For the engineering students, right, and the students from purely from computer science, the plus one, plus two, computer science groups, and then accountancy, maths, commerce, arts, right? For those students, this is not suitable. They are highly technical, right? So in the paper two, you may be feeling very difficult to follow up with many areas, right? So for the, okay, my suggestion is that if you are interested in the biology and if you studied biology in your plus one, plus two, and for the agri graduates and for the bioscience graduates, they can choose agriculture optional, right? For the arts and arts group and engineering graduates with the computer science, okay, for those students, you can think about some other optional. You can attend this demonstration and you can go through the syllabus and go through the previous year question paper, and then you can decide. And if you have any doubts regarding choosing this option, you can contact me. I will guide you. So my number is 97866 18217. So this is mainly I'm advising for the non-agri students. So this is my personal number. You can message me or contact. You can call me. I will give the further clarification. I will guide you whether this is suitable for you or not. Right. So far, any doubts, online students? Can you able to follow me? Right. Online students, any doubts? You can message me in the chat box. Okay, right. So regarding our program, right, in our Shankaraj's Academy for regarding Agri optional program, it's a 5 months course, 4.5 to 5 months. So the first class starting from July 20. So it's a regular batch, Monday to Friday. Evening timing, 6:30 to 8:30. So this is a regular timing. And after this next week, we will create a separate Telegram channel for this batch. And I will intimate all the information regarding the class schedule, timing, test discussion, everything in the Telegram channel. Okay, you will get regular updates in the Telegram channel. Right. So it's a regular timing for the optional batch. The course will go up to November end. So November end or December. Okay. So we need at least a minimum 4.5 to 5 months to complete the entire syllabus, because it's a regular course. It's a very elaborate, not a crash course. So it's a very elaborate course. We discuss every topics in detail based on the recent demand of the UPSC, right? And I will clear all the conceptual doubts, okay, in this area, right? So here in our Shankaraj's Academy, in this program, we need to understand the current trend in the Agri optional paper, because just I told you that we cannot simply prepare based on the PVQs, right? So there are two major changes in our Agri optional paper. The questions are more micro topic specific questions, and then crop specific questions. Earlier, the questions were very general. From a syllabus topic, they ask one very general question, but nowadays the questions are more micro topic specific question. Micro topic means within the major topic, they ask more sub questions, right? Subtopic based questions, right? So the problem here is when they ask this type of questions, we need to cover the syllabus completely, thoroughly, with all the subheadings, and we need to have a deeper understanding of the subject. Conceptual depth is very important. Okay, right. So these are the recent changes in our optional paper. So in our classroom program, we will discuss in this way. For every topic, for every syllabus area, we analyze the in-depth understanding of every subject. Okay, and then crop specific questions. Recent days, they are asking more specific questions for a topic like a weed science or irrigation or nutrient management. In those areas, earlier the questions were general. So what are the common practices for the weed management? What are the common practices for the nutrient management or irrigation management? Nowadays, the questions are, they are asking crop specific question. So what are the irrigation management practices for the wheat and soybean? What are the weed management practices for the cotton and sugarcane? Like that, they are asking the crop specific question for the general topic. Okay. So these are the major changes in our UPSC optional paper. So we need to prepare based on that. Right? We need to understand the demand of the UPSC, and we have to prepare accordingly. We have to modify preparation based on that. Okay. Right. So in our class, we will discuss in this way. Okay. And then I will explain all the concepts. Okay. So if you have any problem with the paper 2, because paper 2 is full of technical. In the paper 2 area, we study about genetics, cell biology, plant breeding, plant physiology, seed technology, so entomology, pathology. So they are the major areas, technical area in the paper 2 area. So they are highly factual as well as concept oriented, right? So in our class, I will explain all the concepts very clearly. You will get a clear understanding of the subject. Okay, right. And the paper 1 also, some areas are general. We can easily follow. Okay, even non-agri students, they can follow many areas in the paper 1, the agronomy area or environmental science area or a cropping system. But some areas are technical, like soil science. The soil science, we study about the soil chemistry, right? So the chemistry knowledge is important for the soil science area, nutrient management, right? Irrigation area, weed science topics. These are highly technical and factual. Okay, right? So I will explain all the concepts very clearly, and then the most important advantage here in our agri optional program, you will get a best material for the agri optional paper. Currently, this most sought after material at the all India level, right? So there is a huge demand for our material, and I'm distributing material throughout India. So you will get this book. I believe this book recent edition is available, 2026 edition. So you will get 6 books totally for the entire. We study 20 subjects in our agri optional paper. In the paper 1 and paper 2, there are 20 subjects, right? So this one single material that cover the entire agri optional paper. So this material consists of 2000 pages, 6 volume, okay, 2000 pages that covers the entire agri optional syllabus, both paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, so you can save a lot of time, because for the 20 subjects we need to refer different reference books for the different subjects, right? You need to refer at least 15 books for the entire agri optional, but here a single material for the entire preparation. Okay, right? So along with our course, we'll get this material. And then regularly we conduct class test to assess your performance in the, because the answer writing practice is very important. It's a descriptive nature. Okay, means we are writing mains exam, so descriptive nature. So regularly after, apart from teaching, I will conduct class test regularly. After completion of every subject, I will conduct the class test. I will assess your performance, right? And here we have one-on-one feedback. After completion of every class test, I will meet you personally. For the offline students and online students, I will give feedback over phone. Personally, I will speak to the students individually. In here, okay, for offline students, we can regularly we can meet here for the discussion, one-on-one feedback, right? Then I will share toppers answer copies almost in our so throughout India, our academy. So we are producing the top score in agri optional paper consistently. In 2021, Swati she was a Tamil Nadu topper. She scored highest mark in all India level, 303. And again, in 2023, Megha from Bengaluru, she scored 285 in the agri optional paper. That was the highest score at the all India level. And again in 2024, 276 by Apsara, right? So consistently, last year also 274 by one of the student, right? So recently, the scoring in agri optional paper is in the range of 270 above. Not only agri optional paper, in every optional except mathematics and anthropology. So in those areas, some students are scoring 300. Mathematics, they are scoring even 350, 360 also, but that's purely objective in nature, right? But for other optional, the scoring, good score in the range of 280 to 270 to 280, right? Earlier, our target was 300, but nowadays 300 is very, very rare from any optional. So the good score is, the best score is 280 plus, right? So we aim for 300 plus, right? But if you're getting in the range of 270, 280, then it's a very good score in the optional paper. Definitely you'll get interview call under any one of the service. Okay, right. So I will share those toppers answer copies, right? And then during our classroom program, for every topic, we will integrate with the current affairs, right? So no direct question for current affairs, but current affairs can be used for validation purpose, right? How can we integrate current affairs in our optional subject? Okay, we'll discuss, okay, for every topic, right? So this is our program, okay? Regarding the class test, I will provide an answer key for every test after the completion of every test. And I will provide the question booklet and question paper. For offline students, you can write here. For online students, in the Telegram channel, I will send the question paper and a question booklet. After writing the answer, they can send it to me personally. So I will correct it and give feedback over the phone, okay, for online students, right? So basically in our entire agriculture optional paper, we cover 3 major areas. In the paper 1, crop production. So entire paper 1 deals with the crop production. It's called agronomy area, cropping system, cropping pattern, irrigation, weed science, right? So these are the soil science, solid water conservation, dryland agriculture. So we cover the crop production area. It's called agronomy, right? In the entire paper 2, we study about crop protection and crop improvement. So crop protection, entomology and pathology, and the crop improvement are the crop breeding, plant breeding and the seed technology. So genetics, plant breeding and seed technology, they are part of the crop improvement. Okay. So in the entire agri optional, this is the syllabus: crop production, crop protection and crop improvement. Okay. These are the 3 major areas in our agriculture optional paper, right? So on the syllabus are, in our syllabus, actually, we don't to study all the topics in our from college days. In a college, we study more than 60, 70 courses, right? But here, we are covering only 20 important subjects. So in the paper 1 area, mostly they are general, forestry, soil science, ecology and environmental science, and the agronomy area, cropping system, cropping pattern, irrigation, dryland agriculture, and then extension and farm management, nutrient management. So these are the syllabus topics in the paper 1. Okay. And the paper 2 area, genetics, plant breeding, biotechnology and genetic engineering, seed technology, plant physiology, horticulture, entomology, pathology and nutrition topic, food security and nutrition topic. So these are the syllabus in the paper 2. Okay, right. So here these are fully technical. Okay, in the entire area, we need a more conceptual clarity, understanding, in-depth understanding of these areas. Okay, highly technical, but advantage here is scoring. If the subject is highly technical, scoring is very, very high. Even okay, you can get 8 marks or 7 marks out of 10. Usually in UPSC, during the evaluation pattern is mostly they won't give more than 60% of marks for 10 mark question. Maximum they will give only 6 marks for a 10 mark question. Okay, but here in our technical paper, we can even score 7 or 7.5 out of 10. It is possible. Okay, if the question is highly technical, right? So that's why okay, we need to in the paper 2 area we need to focus okay more on these areas. We should not miss this type of questions in the exam. Okay. So totally 500 marks. Okay. So for enrollment, you can directly, for offline students, you can enroll directly in our academy here in ground floor. For online students, you can visit the Shankar IAS Academy website where the link is available. You can enroll directly in the website by making payment through online. Okay. Otherwise, if you have any doubts, you can contact me. I will send you the link. Okay. Is that clear? Right. So these are the advantages of our agri optional paper. Right. I'm not saying it's easy. No option is easy in our UPSC CSE preparation. Okay, you have coming for the civil preparation. So no option is easy. Every optional subject has its own merits and demerits, its own okay, pros and cons, right? For agriculture optional paper, we have this advantage. The evaluation is objective in nature, and the papers are highly technical. So we can score maximum marks from agri optional paper, and the syllabus is very, very definite syllabus. So just you have to follow only the syllabus. But the problems are here. Some areas are factual. Okay, in case of entomology, pathology, and all, they are highly factual. We need to memorize a lot of scientific names. You should be ready, right? So you need to memorize a lot of scientific names for the entomology, pathology area, the pest and disease names, and here in the weed science, particularly in the weed science area and the forest area, again, we need to memorize the botanical name for the weeds and forest tree species. These are the challenges in our agri optional paper. We need to mug up a lot of facts and scientific names. Okay. So you should be ready for that. Okay. So I won't say it's very easy. You can choose this optional. Okay. That's not the case. We need to do hard work. For every option, we need to do hard work. Okay. But if you follow the correct approach, if you follow systematically, then we can able to score high marks. Right. So in our coaching, that's my duty. I'm giving you a correct idea. So what are the areas we have to cover? I'm giving you the correct path, what you should follow. Okay, which is important, which is not important, right? So this is what we discuss in the class, along with the answer writing practice. Okay. Both papers, both are part of our syllabus. Paper 2 is for agri field officer. In our agri field officer syllabus, these topics are also part of the syllabus. Plant breeding, seed technology, entomology, pathology, everything. Okay, they are part of the agri officer exam. They are also part of the syllabus. So the entire chapter, okay, entire subjects are important for our TNPSC exams and agri officer exam. But in the agri officer exam, they are objective in nature, objective type of questions, right? So here the preparation method, content same, but the preparation method is different. Here you are preparing for the descriptive type of answers, right? In the agri field officer exam, objective type of questions. So you need to cover more factual area. Okay. But it will be useful. Not 100%. This material and these subjects are useful for your field officer exam also. But apart from that, you have to cover extra. You have to prepare extra for the field officer. Okay. Okay. Any doubts? After this, we will see on a demo. Okay. So now the introduction is over. We will see on demo lecture. Okay. So any doubts, online students, so far regarding the course or subject? Right. Shall we discuss on topic? Okay. Which topic? Huh? Notes? No, actually, in our class, since I am giving this material, the comprehensive material for the entire agri optional, I won't dictate notes one by one. Okay. So in the class, we will discuss the topics elaborately. And during the class discussion, you have to take running notes, the class notes, okay, during the discussion. And after that, with the class notes, the running notes, you have to refer the main material, right? So the class notes are for your understanding purpose. Once after the class, if you go through the class notes, you'll get the understanding, right? And based on the class notes, you have to refer the material. Your material is the main study material. Your main, okay, the preparation should be based on the material, because material contain the elaborate content with the proper dimension for all the topic. Okay. From that material, you have to take short notes later. That I will discuss again in the class. How can we proceed, right? So what should be your preparation method? That we'll discuss during the class. No, not necessary. Apart from our material, no need to refer any other books. It's more than sufficient. So science background. Okay, right, yeah. So for agri optional, apart from 2 hours class, Actually, the preparation should be on a regular basis based on your class timing. If you're attending GS classes also, then you need to, on a daily basis, you need to allocate time for the agri optional paper because this is the right time. So usually in our, this is actually the starting period, right? So for the next year mains, so the July is the perfect time to start for the civil service preparation, right? So the July to December, this is the right time for you to cover your optional paper and the mains area. Okay. So after December, you need to focus on the prelims area. From December to May, you should focus on the prelims area and the CSAT, the GS prelims and the CSAT area, right? So till December, you have time. So during our classroom program, you have to cover the syllabus on a regular basis based on the time availability. If you're attending the GS classes, then you can allocate, suppose if you're studying 4 hours in a day, if you're getting 4 hours in a day for study, for your own study, then you have to allocate 2 hours for the optional subject, remaining 2 hours for the GS area, right? You need to allocate in this way. So during the initial period, you need to give more weightage for the optional subject because you should complete the optional paper before the December, at least 80-90%. So simply if you follow our classroom program and regularly we conduct class test also. So if you prepare for the class test, you can able to cover more than 80-90% of the syllabus before December. And it will be highly useful for your next year mains. Because main students, they are making this mistake. So every year I'm seeing that after the prelims, luckily they clear the prelims, right? So, but the problem here is many students, they start the optional preparation only after clearing the prelims. Actually, it's very, very difficult. Because okay, between the prelims and after May, between the prelims and mains, the mains will be in August. So hardly you have 2 months time period, 2.5 months time period for the prelims and mains. In those 2 months time period, we have to focus on the GS, the 4 GS papers, mains paper, essay preparation and optional preparation. So at that time, we cannot freshly prepare for the optional, right? So we have to do only revision. Okay, at the time, okay, this is the only time for the revision purpose. And we will be attending a lot of test series also, full length test series for the 4 GS papers, essay and optional paper, right? So you must complete the optional paper. Again and again, I'm telling you, for every batch, I'm telling this fact, right? You must complete the optional paper before December. It's must. At least 80% of the syllabus. Okay. So in this time period, you should focus more on you have to give more weightage for the optional preparation on a daily basis. Okay. Right. Actually, this is the right time you have. Okay. This batch every year. There is one more batch in December also. But the December batch students, they face this difficulty. Mostly they appear for the next year mains. Okay, they cannot appear for immediately the upcoming prelims, right? So this is the right time for you. So if you complete the optional before December, then you can confidently appear for the next year prelims. And again, the December course, the December batch, it will go up to April. April end. It will go up to April end. Okay, the December batch, right? So during those time period, they will be mostly focusing on our agri optional paper and less focus on the prelims area, right? So this is a difference here. Okay, so you have come in a right time, so you can utilize this opportunity, right? Because actually the problem is for many students, they complete the course in the month of August and September only in many colleges. Okay, because the course completion is different for different colleges. So they complete the course, the program only in some colleges they finish the course only in August or September. For those students, they are coming for the December batch. Okay. Any other doubts? Yes, correct. Okay, for online students, we provide recordings. For online, okay, actually we have a separate portal for our classroom program. We have a separate portal for this called students portal. In the students portal, regularly we update after the completion of every class, the recordings are updated in the students portal. So you'll be given a unique ID and password. In your fee receipt, you will get the unique ID. With the unique ID and the password, you can log in into the portal and you can watch the recorded classes also. If you miss any class, you can also watch the recorded classes. Recordings are available. Okay, Vasigaran. Okay, yeah. It's your choice. You can attend you can watch only recorded classes. Okay, if you're unable to attend the classes regularly, you can watch the recorded videos. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay. Right. Okay, shall we discuss the topic? Right. So we take one simple topic, right? Or any other choice? Any genetics? Okay, right. Yeah. Genetics. Okay, which topic? Genetics is here. Okay. It's a huge area. Okay. Right. Actually, to understand the genetics, you need to understand the cell biology area. All are interlinked. Okay. So without the cell biology, we cannot directly go to the genetics. Okay. First, we need to understand the cell organelles, and then based on the cell organelles and the cell division topic, then we can enter into the genetics area. Okay. Those are interlinked. Right. Okay. So we will see on a simple topic. Net zone area, grass cropped area, and then cropping intensity. Cropping intensity index. Okay, right. Any idea? What's the difference here? Net zone area means total cultivated area, cultivable area. Okay, right. Grass cropped area means when this formula, the crop intensity. Okay, so to calculate crop intensity, we need to divide the grass cropped area divided by net zone area into 100. So this is a formula for the cropping intensity index, or simply called the cropping intensity. Okay, right. So what is the meaning of this net zone area? This is the total, the actual land area available for cultivation, cultivable area, or also called the arable land. Right. So the total area available for the cultivation. Currently in India, the total area available for cultivation in India, approximately 140 million hectares. Out of the total geographical area, there is 328 million hectares. Out of this, nearly 45%. So in India, 45% of the land area in the land use classification, some areas covered under the agriculture and some areas covered under the forestry, residential, water bodies, right? So in the land use classification, nearly 45% of the total land area of the country covered by agriculture, arable land. Okay. So 140 out of 328 million hectares, right? So this is the actual land area available for the cultivation. And for your prelims area, this is one of the important fact here. India is having the world's largest arable land. Not even China. Actually, for many commodities, Agri-Garage, okay, you know that for many commodities, China is a major producer for rice, wheat production, for food grain production, for fruits and vegetable production. China is the major producer for most of the commodities. India comes second, right? But actually, India is having the world's largest arable land, cultivable land. Okay, right. Then, what is the meaning grass cropped area? For this, we need to understand the two types of agriculture, right? So here, the types of agriculture based on the one simple classification based on the water availability, irrigation source. So based on the irrigation source in our agriculture, here irrigation means water application to the croplands. Application of water to the croplands, irrigation availability, right? So based on the irrigation availability, there are two types of agriculture in India: irrigated agriculture and dryland agriculture. Okay, so two types of agriculture. Okay, dryland or rainfed, both are same. Okay, so those lands are fed by rainwater. Okay, it's called a dryland agriculture or the rainfed agriculture. What is the meaning rainfed? Those lands are fed by rainwater. Okay, so rainfed agriculture and irrigated agriculture. So those lands are covered with the irrigation facility. So here irrigation facility means in India, there are three sources for irrigation, right? So tank source, tank irrigation, or the tank is nothing but a lake or ponds. We use the lake or the pond source for the irrigation purpose. Tank irrigation or well irrigation. Well irrigation, open well as well as bore well. Nowadays they are using bore well only, right? Mostly open well concept very, very old. Okay, so earlier they considered open well. Nowadays farmers are using only the bore well or the tube well. Bore well, okay, right. So for irrigation purpose, well irrigation, and then another important source here, canal irrigation. Canal irrigation from the river source, from the major rivers, from Ganga, Yamuna, in the south, Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari, right? Prakasam Canal, one of the important canal in the South India, from the Krishna River. Prakasam Canal in the Vijayawada region in Andhra Pradesh, one of the most fertile belt in the southern part of the country, right? In the northern part, Ganga Canal, Yamuna Canal, and India's longest canal in the irrigation canal, Indira Gandhi Canal, in the Punjab region. You might have heard about this Bakranangal Dam, right? Bakranangal Dam, across the Sutlej River, right? So these are the famous irrigation canals from the river source, from the rivers, right? So for the major rivers, they divert the water for the irrigation purpose through canals, numerous canals. Okay, right. So these are the important sources for the irrigation in agriculture, right? Okay, so if a farmer's land covered under the irrigation facility, any one of the irrigation facility, so okay, they covered under the tank irrigation or well irrigation or canal irrigation, then those farmers are called irrigated farmers, and those lands are called the agriculture is called irrigated agriculture, right? Whereas in this case, the monsoon rainfall is the only source of water for the agriculture, right? Monsoon rainfall, southwest monsoon and northeast monsoon in India, the two major monsoon, right? Okay, so in those areas, the farmers depending on the only the monsoon rainfall for agriculture, right? And those agriculture is called dryland agriculture or rainfed agriculture, and the farmers are called dryland farmers, rainfed farmers. Okay, so this two important type of agriculture based on the irrigation availability. Okay, right. But now, for example, in India, so this entire this region, so our east coast of India, right? So in the entire the east coast of India, here in Tamil Nadu, Kaveri River, Kaveri Delta region. In Andhra, Krishna and Godavari River. In Odisha, Mahanadi Delta. In West Bengal, Sundarbans Delta, right? And this entire the northern plains. So Ganga and Yamuna rivers, okay, right? And here the Indus River, right? So this entire northern plains. So these two are the major regions of irrigated agriculture. Most of the areas in this region covered under the proper irrigation facility. Mostly the canal irrigation or the borewell irrigation, right? Whereas mostly the central part of the country, here the central part of Maharashtra, central part of the Karnataka, here Rajasthan, Gujarat, okay, some parts okay, in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, right? So mostly those regions, majority of the area come under the rainfed agriculture or dryland agriculture, where the farmers depending on the monsoon rainfall for the agriculture. Okay, right. So here, for example, so take one example. Okay, so here in the Kaveri Delta, a Delta farmer in the Kaveri region, right? So here in the Delta region, the Kaveri farmer, here one important cropping pattern in the southern part of the country, it's called granary of the South India, right? The Tanjore Delta region in South Tamil Nadu, the Kavi Delta region is called granary of South India, right? And whereas this Northern Plains is called granary of India. So bulk of the food grains, rice and wheat coming from those regions. Okay, right. That's why they call it granary of India, right? So in the Kavi Delta region, on a famous cropping pattern, rice, rice, rice. So what is the meaning of this rice, rice, rice pattern? That means in a single year, right, there are 3 seasons for agriculture, right? So agri year starts in the month of, like academic year, agri year starts in the month of June, right? Annual year, January. Financial year, April. Academic year, June. Agriculture year, June. Okay. So every year, the agri year starts in the month of June. So the 4 months time period, June to September. So this is a southwest monsoon period. Now, throughout India, except Tamil Nadu, throughout India experiencing the southwest monsoon. For Tamil Nadu, actually, it's a typical, it's an exception case, right? So Tamil Nadu, we receive rainfall during the winter time, winter season rainfall. So through northeast monsoon, okay, right? So June to September, okay, the 4 months period is a southwest monsoon, right? So in India, we follow 3 different seasons. So the first season is called a Kharif season. June to September is called a Kharif season. It's a southwest monsoon season. Then next season, after September, October to March, it's called a Rabi season. Also called a winter season, winter months, okay? And then March to May, the third season is called a summer season. Okay. In India, we follow 3 different seasons for agriculture. So here, what is the meaning of this rice, rice, rice pattern? In some areas, in the Delta region, the farmers follow this pattern. Kharif season, rice. Then after harvesting of rice, again the next season they go for the rice, Rabi season. And again in the next season also they go for the rice. Okay. And you know that rice is one of the highly water consuming crops. Okay, in agriculture, rice is one of the highly water consuming crops. How is it possible to grow rice in all 3 seasons? Because water availability, throughout the year water availability. Along with the monsoon rainfall, they also take water from the canal source, Kavi Delta region, canal irrigation plus groundwater. They utilize all the resources available from the tank irrigation, from the bore well, and from the canal irrigation, along with the rainfall. Okay, right. So throughout the year, water is available. So the farmers are practicing this type of agriculture, right? Whereas a farmer in the Madhya Pradesh or central part of Maharashtra, and the lands coming under the rainfed or the agriculture, right? In those regions, a farmer having 1 hectare of land. Okay. So how many times he can cultivate the land? Okay. In a single year, how many times he can cultivate the land? Only 1 time. That is during the monsoon time, right? So throughout India, monsoon rainfall during the month of the June to September, southwest monsoon, that's a major rainfall source for the agriculture. Okay, right. So a farmer in the dryland or the rainfed condition, no irrigation sources available, right? So for those farmers, monsoon rainfall is the only source of irrigation for the croplands. In their case, the monsoon rainfall period, only 4 months period, June to September. Effective monsoon rainfall period only for 4 months period, June to September, right? So those farmers can cultivate the land only for the 4 months time period. Okay, so only 1 crop is possible. Mostly they go for any one of the millets, sorghum, or any one of the oilseed, groundnut, or soybean. Mostly these are the major crops in those regions. Any one of the millets, or oilseeds, or pulses, red gram. Okay, so mostly only 1 crop is possible. Rarely they go for the 2 crops. Okay, see here, the main difference here in the rainfed agriculture and irrigated agriculture. So here a farmer having 1 hectare of land, he can cultivate the land 3 times in a single year. Whereas a farmer having the same amount of land in the dryland or the rainfed condition, he can cultivate the land only 1 time during a year, right? So here, this is called a net sown area, grass cropped area. Net sown area, same. In both the cases, net sown area, same. What is the actual land area available for cultivation? This farmer having 1 hectare of land. This farmer having 1 hectare of land. So both are same. But here, if you see the grass cropped area, what is the meaning grass cropped area? In a single year, how many times the land is utilized for cultivation. In a single year, how many times the land is put into cultivation? That is called grass cropped area. Okay, right. So here for this farmer, net sown area is actually 1 hectare, but the same land is put into cultivation 3 times in a single year. So the grass cropped area is actually 3 hectare. Okay, whereas for this farmer, both are same. Because the whole year he can cultivate only 1 time during the whole year, so both are same. Grass cropped area and net sown area both are same. Okay, right. So based on this, we can calculate the cropping intensity index. So the CI, the formula for the delta farmers, GCA divided by net sown area into 100. How much? 300%. Okay, 300%. Whereas if you apply this formula for the dryland farmers, it is 100%. Okay, 1 by 1, 100%, right? So this is called cropping intensity. That means how intensively we utilize the land resources. What is the meaning of this cropping intensity? In a single year, how intensively the land is utilized. So this is one of the important. Why we study this concept? But now if you take all India average, okay, this actually I have given very specific example, location specific example, right? If you take all India average, I told you that net sown area around 140 million hectares, and the grass cropped area around 230 something million hectares, right? So if you calculate for the overall India average, it is around 140%, 148%. Okay, around 145 or 148%. This is the all India average. So what is the meaning here? The whole year, throughout India, the whole year, the land is utilized 1.4 times. Okay, what is the meaning 300%? The land is utilized 3 times. What is the meaning 100%? The land is utilized only 1 time. Okay, and we can also take another example here. In the Punjab region, in many areas, the farmers go for 2 crops minimum. Third crop is not guaranteed, but they go for 2 crops minimum. The most famous cropping pattern in this region, rice, wheat. Okay, so rice and wheat. So 2 crops minimum in a single year. Third season, in the summer season, mostly they go for fallow. Fallow means without cultivation, right? So here 2 crops are possible. So a farmer having 1 hectare of land, he can cultivate the land 2 times in a single year. First season rice, second season wheat. So here the percentage is 200. Rice means more temperature. Summer, during summer. Actually, we are talking about summer season only, right? June month. Rice grown in during the summer month only, June month. Have you visited Delhi during the June month? Okay. The temperature is extreme. Okay. So here actually we are in the peninsular region. In Tamil Nadu, in South India, all 3 sides surrounded by the ocean. So here we are facing that no extreme temperature. In the winter, the winters are mild. The summer also not that much extreme. Okay. If you visit North India during the summer time, the temperature go up to 50 degrees Celsius. I don't understand. Okay, so the whole India, we have one common summer and common winter, right? Okay, then why this confusion, summer and winter?
It's more summer in March, April, May, more heat. In South,
North is facing more heat. Okay, see, in the North India, they face extreme temperatures, extreme conditions. In the summer means extreme summer. Winter means extreme winter. In South India, because of ocean influence, because of air circulation, we don't face that much extremity. We don't get rainfall. Okay, June months actually we rarely get rainfall. Okay, in the entire June month in the entire North India, the spread of rainfall is very heavy in the North India. Okay, right? Rainfall is different from temperature. Even though okay, in the North India they face rainfall, but still it's summer. Okay, once after October only they face slowly the temperature will drop. Okay, starting from October, and the November, December months, January months are peak winter in North India. Okay, because of continental climate. Okay, right. So during the summer month, that is okay, Kharif season, the seasons are common for throughout India, right? So during the Kharif season, they go for rice. In the Rabi season, winter season, they go for the wheat. Okay, why in South India we don't grow wheat? Temperature. Okay, in North India, the temperature is very, very low. During the winter months, they face extreme low temperature. The temperature goes up to even 0 degrees Celsius, freezing temperature, right? And those conditions are favorable for the growth of the wheat. In South India, it's not possible. That's why in South India, we go for a rice pattern. Always, okay, season means 4 seasons only. Summer, winter, spring, autumn season, okay, right? Those are the seasons, right? In the March, April, they face the same spring season. Gradually temperature increases. But actually, when compared to South India, North India, they face this rise of temperature extremely in the month of April. So till March, till February, March, the temperature are medium, right? But again, South India, we face that very quickly. Okay, after starting of the March, okay, we face the extreme rise of temperature. But in North India, it will take some time. But in the April and May, they see the peak of summer. Okay, right. Okay, right. So even again, North India also in the Punjab region, they follow this pattern. So rice, wheat. Okay, so here only 2 crops are possible. So the land is utilized 2 times in a single year. So here we can achieve 200%. Okay, right. So these are for throughout India, we can see this pattern. For again, based on the different region, based on their location, farmers, status, everything, based on the climatic conditions, we can see this difference throughout India. So if we calculate for average, okay, throughout India for average, this is the percentage, around 145 to 148%, right? That means 1.4 times. Okay, the land is utilized 1.4 times. Then what is the meaning here? Net sown area, right? And if you multiply the 1.4 into 1.4 with the net sown area, you will get the grass cropped area. Okay, so this is a calculation, simple calculation, right? So there are 2 indications. So here in this formula, why we need to study about this concept? What is the importance of the cropping intensity index? There are 2 importance here, 2 significance of this concept. One is based on this percentage, the 140% or 145%, right? So this percentage, it's important to understand that how many times in India, how many times the land is utilized, right? So it shows the land use efficiency. So for the same amount of land, how the farmers are utilizing the land resources, 1 time or 2 time or 3 time. Okay, so it shows the land use efficiency, right? Okay, so if a farmer utilizing the land 3 times means the land is utilized in a more efficient way. We are using the full potential of the land. Okay, right. So this is important concept here. Then another interpretation here from this percentage, whether we should increase this percentage or decrease, which is good for agriculture, higher or lower. The percentage should be higher. Okay, it should be increased, right? So if the percentage is more, okay, currently it is around 140%, right? If it is okay, if it is 180% or 200%, what is the indication? What is the interpretation? Throughout India, the farmers are utilizing the resources more efficiently. They are cultivating in a more number of times. So what's the advantage here? More production, right? So when you utilize the land resources more efficiently, and if you cultivate more number of times in a single year, then you increase the production, right? So instead of using 1 time in a single year, suppose okay, a farmer getting from 1 hectare of land, if he is getting 10 ton, okay, 10 ton of production, right? Then for the whole year, this is the yield, this is the production, right? But if the same farmer, if he cultivate the same land 3 times in a single year, then we can triple the production. Okay, so this is the difference here. If it is land only 1 time, because for the whole year the production will be 10 tons only, right? But if the same land is 3 times in a single year, then we can triple the production. or we can double the production, right? So this concept is important for the how intensively we utilize the land resources. Based on that, we can increase the production. So it is important for the food security. It is important for the agriculture production. Okay, that's why the intensive regions are they are producing more. The east coast of India and the northern plains, they are called the granary of India, because they supply more food grains. Because in those regions, farmers cultivating more number of times. Okay, right. Now, okay, this is one important concept here. Now, any drawback in this method? This is the correct way to approach. Okay, can we say that, for example, you are seeing this fact, right, in a particular region. So, okay, one region is given. In a particular region, they are saying that the percentage is 120%. Can we come to the conclusion that no, the land is not used in a proper way because it is only 120%? Is the correct way of analyzing this fact, assessing this and the percentage. Whether it always holds true for this the land use efficiency. Can we assess in this way based on the percentage by simply seeing the percentage? Why? I'm saying that the percentage is given, a figure is given, right? Based on this figure, can we say that 100% means low efficiency, 200% means high efficiency? So plainly, can we say that? Can we come to that conclusion? No. So okay, in this method also there are some drawbacks, okay, in this method, because okay, in this method, by using this formula, this can be used only for the seasonal crops. For example, a farmer is growing sugarcane, right? A farmer is growing sugarcane in 1 hectare of land. Sugarcane is a 10 months crop, not more water, okay, 10 months crop. What is the duration of sugarcane? Almost okay, 10 months, 1 year crop, right? So that means, okay, so if you calculate for okay, the crop intensity for sugarcane, then what is the percentage here? The farmer is growing only one crop the whole year, right? Then you will get the percentage 100%, right? And can we say that the land is not used properly? Here the land is utilized in a proper way, right? The whole year the land is utilized here, not wasted. Land is not wasted. Okay, the whole year the land is utilized here, but here it is based on the duration of the crop, right? So this concept, okay, is applicable only for the seasonal crops, 3 months or 4 months crop, right? Whereas for annual crops, if you apply this formula, we won't get proper interpretation. The result is not correct. Banana is a 10 months crop. Cotton is a 6 months crop. So if you take cotton, right, cotton is a 6 months crop. So we can grow only 2 cotton per year. That's possible. That's the only possibility. So in the cotton growing area, we never achieve that 300% of intensity. Okay. So this is a drawback in this method. Okay. Right. So for every topic in our agriculture optional paper, we need to understand, okay, in this way. Right. So while discussing the topic in our optional paper, while the syllabus topic, we have to analyze in this way. We need to understand the whole context, the conceptual depth, right? Along with the what are the drawbacks? Okay, what are the how can we link this topic with agriculture? What is the significance of this topic? Because in agriculture, already I told you, it's applied science, right? So this concept, why we need to study this concept? Where we can apply this concept in agriculture? We need to link with agriculture application part, right? So after studying the concept, we can give this interpretation. We can give this one illustration also, right? And then after this, we have to say that this percentage, what is the meaning of this percentage? What is the interpretation of the percentage? What is their significance? And then drawbacks. And finally, we can give this conclusion. Okay. Even though this is applicable for the, it's not applicable for the annual crops, but for the seasonal crops, it's one of the best indicator to assess the land use efficiency. That's the conclusion for this question, right? So our class, okay, in our class discussion, we discuss, okay, in this way. For every topic we take and we analyze the conceptual part, and then we discuss the questions also. From this area, how can we expect the question from agriculture optional paper? How can we address, okay, those questions, right? So for agriculture engineering background, if you're interested in the biology, okay, so I think in agri engineering topic, mostly you cover the topics like soil science, irrigation, right? Correct? Farm machineries, irrigation. These topics are mostly covered under the agri engineering topic. So mostly you cover these areas in the paper 1 area. Paper 2 is a technical. So that's why I told you, you must have basic interest in the biology and the science background. They are very important. So in the class, don't worry about the technical part. I will clearly explain the technical area, the paper 2 area. So if you are interested in the biology area, basic understanding of the biology, then you can choose agriculture optional. It's scoring only. Okay. Is that clear? Okay. So every topic in the class, it will go in this way. Okay. And after completion of every topic, we will discuss the PVQ. So from this topic, what are the previous year questions? Okay. And how to answer for those questions. We discuss, okay, in the class. Mostly in the class, we go alternatively, paper 1, paper 2. So first we start with the paper 1 area, the cropping system, cropping pattern. And then we shift to paper 2 area, genetics and cell biology. And again, we come to paper 1. So we go alternatively, paper 1, paper 2. Okay. Yes, okay, syllabus decoding, yeah. For every topic, we give, okay, I will provide the syllabus decoding. In the class discussion also, discussion itself, I will clearly, before discussion, I will tell you, in this syllabus topic, while discussing the topic, I will tell you what are the possible areas, what are the areas we have to cover in the particular topic. Okay, any other doubts?
Syllabus.
Okay. For every optional subject, during the notification, they release a syllabus. Okay, it's already available. If you see this year notification, you can take the syllabus. Okay, it's available in the website. Simply, if you search UPSC Agri Optional Syllabus, you will get the syllabus from various websites. Okay. Yes, actually, for online students, the WebEx platform only. Actually, you have to find the class link in your students portal. I told you, we won't share the class link in the Telegram channel. For online students, we will upload the class link in the students portal. So you have to log in. Okay, so you can directly after logging into your account, you can find the link. You can attend the classes regularly. Okay. So they send the link on a weekly basis. For a whole week, they send one link for the entire week. So every week they will send a new link in the students portal. So regarding the books, after enrollment in our classroom program, for offline students, we will provide material here. For online students, we collect in the Telegram channel. We will intimate in the Telegram channel. We will send on a Google link, Google form link, and where in the Google form you have to fill your address. Then after collecting the address, we will send the material through courier. So this is a procedure for the online students. Maximum for online students, we will send the material within 1 or 2 weeks. Regarding the recordings, even after completion of the course, the recordings will be available for 4 to 5 months. So the time period is not standard. Usually they intimate before deletion. But usually for the previous batch students, still they are watching the classes. So you can watch the classes throughout our classroom program. And after completion of program also, you can watch. They will give, I don't know exactly, but they will give, they're providing 4 to 5 months time period. Okay. You can watch it even after the completion of the class. Watch limit, I don't know exactly, maybe 4 to 5 times per video. So you can ask those doubts with the classroom coordinator, optional coordinator. So after the enrollment of, or either give me a message, I will share the optional coordinator number. She will clear your doubts regarding the watch hours, watch limit and all. Not all the scientific names. In our exam point of view, we study only few examples in the entomology, pathology, and the weed science. In the class, I will give those details. Okay. No need to memorize all the. Okay, that's not possible. We need to, exam point of view, you need to memorize some important examples and pest and disease management area. Okay, only important pest and diseases and weeds. But the scientific names are must. While writing the example in the exam paper, we need to mention the scientific names. We should not write common name. Okay, உங்களுக்கு doubts இருக்கா? Questions are direct only. Another advantage in our agri option paper, questions are direct questions, directly from 100% from syllabus, right? And all those questions are rarely one or two questions are indirect or analytical. Questions are directly from the syllabus. That's another advantage in the, not only for agri option paper, for all the pure science optional science paper, this is a pattern. This is another advantage for us. Okay, so simply all you have to do is just to follow the course, our classroom discussion, follow the material, follow my instruction. That's more than sufficient, right? So follow the class for understanding, read the material, take short notes, revise the notes, and the questions are very simple and direct questions, right? And in the class, I will provide the answer ready practice also. How is, okay, we should write the answer for the every topic, right? So if you understand this, it's very easy for us. So this is the main advantage in our technical paper. Whereas in case of humanities area and in those area, we need to, okay, your answer ready skill is very, very important. You need to integrate with a lot of various topics, and moreover, the questions are highly analytical and most of the questions are indirect questions, right? But here we don't, okay, no need to worry about that. Okay. Shall we end up the session? So still you have any doubts, you can contact me. So once again, you can message me in the Telegram or WhatsApp, okay, or you can call me after giving the message. I will clear your doubts. Okay, right. Okay, thank you.